Oh wait, is the thing? Rare species of vampires. As a scholar and exegete of ancestral writings, I would never insist enough about the importance of taking legends and ancient folklores into account when searching for hints about hidden or lost secrets. A common mistake is to take what we know for an established truth and use it to discard any contradictory material. For example, we must consider the possibility of an undiscovered species of vampires and the necessity to rethink what we see as the established truth about the various types of immortals, based on what we know and what we gathered through time. For how many centuries did we consider the vampire as a vernacular term for what we had learned to call Ekon? Until the day 4 explorers of the Brotherhood found proof in Siberia that Volkots were a lupine type of vampire, we considered these creatures to be linked to the mythological werewolf. Now we know it is not true. What about the rest? What about the Rakshasa from my homeland? What about the Chinese Jiangxi? Or the Puchen of southern Chile? And without even leaving the beautiful Great Britain, what about the stories about bat-shaped women sometimes seen flying around St. James' Church in Louth? Louth? What about the creature only identified as disaster in some obscure testimonies, which tried to destroy London in 1666 by spreading plague all around the city? What about the Nimrod, the mythical figure of a restless vampire hunter, sometimes described by ancestral British econs as a legendary huntsman who only feeds on his prey's blood and could go unnoticed among the mortals and immortals? I tell you, my brothers, we never can be too sure of what we could find. If only we could forget for a few minutes what we are supposed to already know. From Unveiling the Night by Usher Tolthree, Primate of St. Paul. I would really like this ad on my phone to stop playing. It's so annoying. Thank you. Oh, I saw something glow there. Okay, Tippett's doing something. Why are you glowing? He's doing something right now. Oh, he's going upstairs? Maybe that's this thing here. Yes, it's going here. You won't even notice I took a break. Oh, I have to click. Okay. Oh, he's taking drugs. So when people glow, we can follow them and then spy on them.
Damn it! Why is this so difficult every time?
Okay. Okay.
That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Okay. No hints. He's a drug addict. Hey there. Let's talk to him about it. We can probably maybe blackmail him a little bit. So not only did he botch a surgery, he's also a drug addict. And that's probably why he botched the surgery in the first place. Oh yeah, I know what you did.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Yeah, very good, because you're gonna pay me just in a second. You're taking drugs. Wait, rumors of shady business? Was this here before?
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague.
Oh,
We're here to save lives.
aren't you tripping balls right now?
I know you're taking drugs, Corcoran. Why take such a risk?
I need it to endure the long shifts. We have no idea how long the epidemic will last. We can't let it win.
This can be a long-term solution. I mean, that's kind of true, because it's probably not a good idea that this is happening, right? You could be fine. How can you be so irresponsible? We could do that. I'm kind of torn between these two. I think I should probably do this one.
I understand the gesture, Doctor. An immediate answer to an emergency situation, but this can't be a long-term solution.
Thank you for your understanding, my dear colleague. And be assured, I have total control of my
Oh yeah,
consumption.
of course. Of course you've got total control, yeah.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Didn't get experience points for this though. Did we get experience points for discovering the weakness though? Probably did. So wait, sometimes Mortimer and his mother talk. So we should probably spy on them too. Which is, can I? No. Oh, hi, this is the guy who's unknown.
Flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
The game didn't load his
Your words are
textures.
kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Sure.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Okay.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Okay, what do you want then?
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates.
Uh-huh.
My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Oh. Is it true though?
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
I mean, it would be kind of obvious, wouldn't it?
We both are afflicted with a thirst for blood, Lady Ashbury. That is our nature. By vocation, we also have reason to visit the hospital. Logic dictates.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion.
Uh-huh.
It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay. Oh, so Harriet is probably that lady there.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that category.
Okay, how do we provoke Beatrice and Mortimer to talk? We know nothing about Dorothy. Can we talk to her? Oh, she is a pillar of
Dr. Reed, may I help you?
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since I've come back to England.
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
What can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
Okay.
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reed, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do what we can.
How is the duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane.
Ooh, I guess I could stand there and wait for the conversation to happen. Let's see if that actually is a thing. I think we can exit here, yeah? Yeah, stuff's happening. Quick! Quick! So what's happening here?
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Oh, so he tried to kill himself. Probably by means of overdose. Oh, give me.
Good
How much
evening,
money do I have?
Good evening,
And,
Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
yeah, I'm trying to save lives.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
A reliable gun. But it needs like 315 shillings. It would be nice to have a second shotgun. And make this one like used against humans. Or like this one would be against vampires and beasts, and the other one against humans. This one would be so much better though. It does start as level 2. But it's basically like 100 damage more. I don't want to buy it right now.
It's safer here than anywhere else.
Let's talk to Mortimer.
As for me,
Because why not?
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes.
It's very direct,
true.
but it's
All
okay.
right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Oh, okay, you can trust
You
me.
can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Okay, so we need 2 hints about him. And what about his mother? And 2 hints about his mother. Can we talk more about your son?
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail.
That's so dumb.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
I mean,
All
it's
my
not
son
funny.
needs is
It's
hope
just...
and comprehension, not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
It's just idiotic. To
Goodbye,
further,
Mrs.
like,
Goswick.
villainize someone who was so desperate that they wanted to die. Oh, you wanna die? Go into jail. We're gonna make you want to die even more. Okay, I'm supposed to talk to this lady in this room here, yeah?
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Bred with no respect. Just a second. She is not part of the community here. Hello.
What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
I mean, if someone's upset, telling them to calm down is probably not a very good idea. But also, we shouldn't say shut up. Sure.
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman.
I didn't threaten
You
you.
know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something.
Maybe.
This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts is
Oh.
poor sod's vein.
Oh.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine.
Uh-huh.
But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you
Oh.
for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
I mean, Pippa has it going on with the ambulance driver.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
The mummy, I'm just... let me pick this up. No, not gonna let me. Okay, where's Pippa? No. Wait, what's your level? 20! 20. Now, I wonder if this is just to show that if you really want to do this, you have to really, like, kill everyone or whatever. Oh? No, this is not actually possible.
It's locked, all
Why
right.
is that locked? Wait, a letter? Didn't I get this before? Birmingham, 27th October. Hello, sis. How are things in the big city? Here in Brum, things are not so good. It seems the flu is here again, and we have many new cases of infection in the neighborhood. Do you remember Miss Scheller? The old drinking hag from the 3rd floor? She passed away 2 days ago, and her flat is already occupied again. Jeez. You would have to pay me a huge amount of money to go sleep in the bed in which a woman died of a flu just a few hours ago. Sorry, I did not take time to quickly answer your last letter. Between taking care of little Paul, Mom, Dad, and my job at the factory, I rarely find time to write to my favorite sister. By the way, my son says hello to his Auntie Pippa. You should see the little bugger. Already driving me mad, and Mom says you bring back some of those marvelous cakes the next times you come back home. In your last letter, you told me you thought about quitting your job at the Pembroke Hospital. I have to tell you, Pip, you better think twice. There's always jobs at the factory, but wages are shit. And it's as boring as day without a shag. Oh, I have a new fiancé. And no, I'm not a slut, you moral bitch, you. So, if you really want to quit and do something more useful than counting the dead every morning, maybe you better stay in London and join that band you told me about, the Garda Proen. Something like that? Never heard of them. But if they are, like you said, some sort of civil militia trying to make a difference, then maybe it's a good choice for you. Just be sure to let the others go in front. That's how my poor Billy got killed in France. By leading too many patrols, bloody war. Anyway, come back as soon as you can and give me all the good news before that. I am your affectionate sister, Lucy, Paul, Mom, and Dad. So this is about Pippa, huh? She's thinking about quitting. Okay. I wonder...
It's locked.
I wonder when we get a lockpick of some sort.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
No, you should be proud.
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of help.
Maybe you're right. But at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
She feels useless. Okay. So now we could eat her for 3,000 experience points if we wanted.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
Oh, that's not a...
My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
I mean, that kind of question could sometimes be considered sexual harassment. What are you willing to do to be useful? Yeah.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
Or maybe it would be really useful to just try to do the best you can, even if everything goes to shit. I guess this is about Milton.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor.
Why not?
She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
So she doesn't want to say anything.